There it is. There we go. I think we're live. I said Yahoo. I meant YouTube. Doesn't matter. What's going on, everybody? Live before lock. Friday, June 7th. I am ready for lock at this point. It's been a long day, but I'm ready to tackle this slate because it feels like one of the more unique slates we've had in a while. We don't have any really standout offenses, and we have like the ultimate ridiculous pitcher play today, at least on DraftKings. Have you seen... I'm with Jake, by the way. Jake, have you seen Jake DeGrom's ownership in the most recent update?
Yeah, highest ownership I have ever seen for a large slate like this.
I know.
So, I mean, just insane that someone, I think we've seen 60 maybe a couple times in the last year or so that we've been doing this together. But yeah, no one's really reached the 70% threshold until tonight. But
especially on a 14-game slate at a $9K plus salary.
Ridiculous. You rarely get, maybe once or twice a year you get someone like 50% on a Friday slate like this. This is outrageous. But what else do you do besides play him? And I know someone just said in the chat, how many times do you hear shows say don't even think about it, lock him in, or you're doing it wrong? Terrible DFS advice, but I don't know. I might be giving that same terrible DFS advice. So
that's the right advice in cash, 1,000%. Jake DeGrom is full stop. Some people don't know that. Some people probably think that you need to fade that in cash. Unfortunately, it's insanity. It's insanity. I'm really anxious to see what DeGrom's ownership is in some of the high dollar stuff.
It'll be 100 in like the Thunderdome. Maybe not 100. Maybe one person will, depending on how many entries there are. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
So Ted N in chat just said, "Oh yeah, I don't play cash. Don't fade DeGrom in cash, but in GPPs for sure, you should fade him for sure." No, those are not the lines we should draw in the sand. There is no just because of X we should do Y. There are levels to this all the time. If Jake DeGrom's price was 6,000, you still want to play him. There comes a tipping point. Now I'm not saying that I advocate going I'm going to try to get 90% DeGrom here today. Not what I'm saying in the large field GPP, but the reason he's at 71 is because we don't normally see this kind of guy at this price tag. It's literally breaking the slate before it's even started. It's nuts.
Yeah. YouTube chat's already been funny. So that's probably my favorite part of these streams is the YouTube chat. But yeah, I don't know. If you want to fade DeGrom, that's fine. If you're playing one lineup, you don't want to play him in his GPP or whatever, go right ahead. You can always just make a fade based off of ownership. Is he 71% likely to be in the top scoring lineup? Obviously that depends. I think more often than not, he ends up in the top scoring lineup, but he could have a terrible game here and you could knock out 70% of the field, which is also very exciting. So it just depends on your risk tolerance. I don't know. I think more often than not, he gets you 25 here and he's worth it. But
yeah, if I'm entering a single entry, I'm happy to go, Cole plus Heaney instead. No issue with that. But that's I don't look at that as a full fade if I'm playing one lineup. But if you're playing 150 and you're can't do it, DeGrom's 71%, full zero, man, you're going to lose money more often than not because the times where DeGrom comes out here and hangs a 45 burger at 9,400 is just going to break things.
Yeah. Not a bandwagoner in chat. 14-game slate, it's easy to differentiate anyway. You have, depending on the site, 8 or 9 different positions also to differentiate with DeGrom. So
yeah,
you can still have a bottom 5% owned lineup and have DeGrom in it easily.
Yeah, play a DeGrom 100%. Stack teams like the Yankees and the Mariners and the Blue Jays. All these teams, I'm shouting out, I wasn't supposed to shout out the Blue Jays. Yankees, Mariners, who else is low? Indians, Angels, Rays. Not going to be a lot of lineups with those stacks along with him because they're not getting that much ownership.
Yeah. So have you run a crunch yet?
Not at all.
Okay. So for me, I am actually surprised. I got to around 50% of DeGrom, which is it's a healthy number, of course.
It is.
it's also 20% underweight. So I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I like that I'm not getting just one lineup construction, and I'm getting a bunch of Cole. He's my second highest owned player right now, so that's exciting. And then I don't have any hitters above 18%, which is what I really want. I want a ton of different lineup constructions tonight, and I think I'm okay going maybe a little bit underweight on DeGrom, but I wouldn't be like Xing him out or whatever some people are talking about in chat. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's I'm really excited for it all. I'm guessing that I end up under that number because of Heaney, but I truly have no idea at this point. It's fun. I hate it. Like, I just wish that he was Soroka's price and that the slate looked normal and you had to make like true decisions.
Well, you still have to. I mean, 70% guy. You still have to get creative when you play DeGrom.
Sure.
Right. So
I just hate when anything breaks free from the pack like this. Even in the NBA, when you get that guy that's min salary that's going to play like 30 minutes for the night, and it's just like, okay, he needs to be 90% owned. It's like, okay, cool. Now all we're doing is just we're all playing the same game with one less roster spot. That's the reason I don't play Showdown.
That's the reason I do play Showdown. If you're a fish, you got a better chance to bink on it. So there you go.
Okay, so obviously we touched on DeGrom. You know, it's craziness. Cole's ownership, I think, is pretty normal. Is there anybody getting completely overlooked to you? Guys that are just like, why doesn't he have ownership?
Pitcher-wise?
Yeah.
On DraftKings, I think it's correct. I mean, you could argue some of these guys are higher owned than what they should be. Like Woodruff makes sense. He's a minus 265 favorite.
Yeah.
Homer Bailey is a favorite at 4,500. Is Nova getting any ownership on the other side? I know I much prefer Bailey, but is a 5K pitcher going up against KC, like maybe not the worst idea there.
And he's getting nothing.
He's getting nothing. So maybe that's a guy that I'll have a little bit of. Let's see where I ended up on Nova on this last one. Only got to a couple shares of him. So
I'm so excited to run a crunch.
What if you just end up with like 20% DeGrom?
It's probably gonna be because I'd have like 60% Heaney.
So Heaney's your guy tonight. Okay.
Not really. He's my third. I like him third most behind Cole and DeGrom. I just don't know how that shakes out because of the way that their salaries work. He might just get completely pinched out, and it ends up that I have way too much like Rick Porcello.
I think you're going to be able to do a lot of good lineups with Heaney, DeGrom. Cole is for sure going to suffer there, though. Like I would find it hard to believe that you get over on both Heaney and Cole.
That I agree with. So, yeah, go ahead.
Just another thing for Heaney, this lineup that came out for Seattle, obviously no Mitch Haniger. My God, did you see that injury?
Yeah, the less we say about it, the better.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Have you seen how it happened?
No, I don't. Yeah. I didn't even know it was a thing. So just a gruesome sounding injury. Vogelbach batting cleanup, lefty. You've got K-Machine Mac Williamson. You've got K-Machine Tim Beckham in there too. So real good lineup. It's looking like Heaney probably couldn't have got a much better lineup than that.
I can't even sit in my chair right now. I'm so uncomfortable thinking about Haniger.
That's rough, man. Yeah.
I mean, that has to be like an inconceivable amount of pain.
Oh yeah. I mean, because like, what can you do? You just like sit there,
cry.
Yeah, basically that's it.
I don't even know. I guess we can't even go on. I don't even know the logistics of it. Does it have to just be removed? Is there a healing process? Is it like a strained hamstring? Do you just sit it out for like 2 weeks? How does that affect other things that you do in your life that those things become like mighty important for? I'm so intrigued.
Yeah, sounds not fun. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. But we just did get an ownership update as Makad.
Yeah, Jake DeGrom a little bit lower.
Yeah. So he went down 25%. He was at 71. Now he's at 46. Still the chalkiest player on the slate by a good amount, but that does change things for me because, and for me and you, I'm sure, because we both weigh ownership when we're ranking out lineups.
Yes.
So that's going to make DeGrom lineups less chalky. Hence, that's going to make me get probably more DeGrom. So after I re-ranked with my last crunch, I got 52% DeGrom. So a little bit of a bump, now I'm 6% over the field, at least what we have projected. But as far as hitters, that doesn't change much for me.
I've got a pitcher I need you to talk to me about because I've talked to Adam about him today. And now I need to get your thought process. Brandon Woodruff is the third most owned pitcher on DraftKings today. I don't get the sense that I'm going to be there. Where are you ending up on Woodruff?
Right now, he is my third highest guy behind DeGrom and Cole.
Okay.
But still under the field. So my exposures are really, really flat right now after DeGrom. 25% Brandon Woodruff right now. I mean, it's not a great strikeout matchup. I think Woodruff is fine, and it's a good price for him, and he's a huge favorite. So that's why you're playing him. There's kind of a shortage of options in this range, I think. Like, you really want to go to Jose Urena or maybe Pineda. But if you're going to Pineda, I don't know, why not just go to Nova or even better yet, Homer Bailey for even cheaper if you're trying to really jam in like Red Sox or, the Brewers who have a 6 implied total. So, I don't think that's like, are you just dipping all the way down to Bailey there?
Me personally, yeah. I expect to have Bailey and Pineda. Bailey's ownership slowly creeping up through the day now. But I expect to be on Bailey and Pineda more than anything else. Well, and I'm going to have some Porcello, and I'll be alone in that one.
Yeah, I heard you talking about him this morning.
Yeah, I know no one's joining me on that hill. And I know you're not.
Nah, he's washed. Well, wait, let me see if I have any of them before I...
He might just be washed. Both strikeout rate and walk rate are going in the wrong direction this season.
Yeah, former Cy Young. That feels like about 10 years ago at this point, based on how he's looked.
Was it 10 years ago? It could have been.
It was like 3. And it was fluky for sure.
Was it 3?
Yeah, man, it wasn't that long ago. Because I was like into MLB DFS, so it had to be like 3 years ago when he won it.
2016.
There you have it.
Yeah, I felt like it was further back than that, but here we are.
Yeah, it's on what he's been since then.
To be fair, he just barely beat out Verlander.
Okay. Well, that's
by 5 votes, I think. Am I seeing that correctly?
It was always fun when Porcello was like 11K and people were jamming him in as like a 25% owned option, even as early as probably last year.
He was dirty that year, though.
Yeah, he was good.
189 strikeouts, only 32 walks.
Didn't he have like 18 wins, though?
He went 22-4.
Okay, yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
It's a stupid record that the baseball...
Sure, but I mean, he was putting nobody on, wasn't giving up dongs. Like, he had a pretty clean season.
Exactly.
But yeah, he had 137 vote points. Verlander had 132.
Ooh, I didn't know it was even that close. I thought he kind of ran away with it.
Verlander had 6 more first place votes.
So 6. So there's at least 6 smarter sports writers. There's at least 6 writers on the smart side of that, I think. Verlander was a way better pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, the history is looking back on Rick Porcello's Cy Young, not exactly fondly.
Right. But good for him, I suppose. He sucks now, so he's always got that 1 year.
What's standing out for you from a hitting perspective right now? Anybody climbing to the top?
Well, my highest exposed hitter right now is Mike Trout, so it's always a good night when that happens.
Never heard of him. Who?
Yeah, I know. And then
that's a fish play. Get it?
Well, no, I don't.
Trout's a fish, man.
Oh God.
I got nothing. My brain is mush today. All my jokes are going to be awful. Way more awful than they normally are.
So I'm getting a ton of Brewers, which I really like, relatively a ton.
I will be doing the same thing, so good.
Yeah. I'm sure they've creeped up a little bit in ownership as people have kind of been talking him up and trying to get different with DeGrom and Cole and all that.
Yeah.
It's really tough to get in Cole, especially, but even DeGrom, it's hard to get in a 6K Yelich and try to stack some of these pieces besides Trout, Shaw. So I'm under on Shaw, but I'm over on basically every one of these other Brewers, including Yelich, who's my third highest owned player. And then Mondesi, who's a guy I just play loads of every single day. I'm quite a bit over on him as well. So
Brewers are the chalk stack on DraftKings by quite a bit right now. So DeGrom, Cole, Woodruff, Brewers. Are you just playing cash tonight, or
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna have better lineups while having the same exposures.
There you go. That's the way to do it. I'm with you though on the Brewers bats. I have a team that I want to get your thoughts on. You ready?
Yeah.
Do you have any interest in the Reds?
The Reds?
The Reds.
I haven't really thought about them much today. Against Eflin, 4.6 implied total. It's really good weather in Philadelphia. I mean, 80 degrees. It's kind of just warming up all over the place, including here. It's super humid, hot. I mean, on DraftKings, if you can stomach a 5K Dietrich, like, yeah, no one's going there, right? I'm looking at their ownership right now. They're 5% owned, so they're kind of above average for ownership. That surprises me. Like, Votto is probably going to pop an optimizer, so that's understandable, even though he's been disaster this season. And then Puig and Winker. So there's some nice values, but I'm not seeing myself get there a ton.
Okay.
Are you in there? I'm assuming you are. That's why you asked me.
I am. I expect them to be one of my more owned stacks. At least relative to the field. Just comparing where they are, I expect to be probably double.
Okay. I got a couple Cincinnati stacks, it looks like, out of 150.
Yeah, like Dietrich having the dual eligibility helps, ignoring the price. Votto's been not great this year, but maybe this ballpark and this weather helps it out a little bit. I like your boy. I'm sure you have like 47% Suarez or something.
48, but yeah. No, I didn't even get to Suarez, so that like $4,600 Suarez. Yeah,
you must really hate the Reds then.
Man, they're just a little over-owned. That's all.
Suarez is projected for 5% ownership.
No, I'm saying the Reds in total are over-owned. I'm guessing a lot of the Suarez I got 5.
Are you looking at the right numbers? Because they're not really owned on DraftKings. Votto's at 11, and no one else is in double digits.
I'm looking at the top stacks tool right now. We've got Cincinnati at a DK ownership share of 5.4%. That would put them, like top 5 or 6? That would put them 7th. Okay.
Has that been refreshed since the last update?
Let's see. I'll load in the new one right now. Is there one?
I'm not saying I disagree with what you're saying because I see the same thing too, but the individual ownership on some of these guys is not there.
5.4%.
Like Senzel is at 1%, Suarez 5, Dietrich 3, Winker 4. Like these guys aren't owned.
What about you said Votto was at 11?
Okay. Votto's at 11. They're all in double digits on FanDuel. That's like pretty chalky.
I mean,
they're the second most owned team on FanDuel, and if I'm to believe this, they are 10th on DraftKings.
10th?
That's what happened when I pasted in and sorted it.
DK ownership share?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they come up 7th on the stack tool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if I paste it into my sheet, I get them to 10th.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's possibly including Tyler Mahle. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
But Alex was having issues with it earlier, so maybe
there's
something that needs to be tweaked.
Either way, I like the Reds.
All right, that's fair.
Do you like the Phillies? I like this game in general for offense, just because of this park and this weather.
I mean, I love the Phillies prices. Yeah. So for me, hard not to like really any of these guys when they're mid-4s, Real Muto, Hoskins, Harper. So yeah, I think there's a ton of good value for a guy that struggles versus lefties. The problem is you're getting Hoskins and Real Muto from the right side, and Mahle is good versus righties. but I think it's a really awesome spot for Harper. Cesar Hernandez also leading off for 3,700. Not the most power or anything, but that's a really good price for a second base position. And man, Bruce already up to 5,100. I haven't even noticed this price.
It's insanity. I try not to pay too much attention to like the lefty righty stuff, especially in a spot like Philly where right-handed power plays up so much. I get that Molly is going to limit people, but what I'm looking for is boosted by the park. I can't imagine that Tyler Molly is offsetting a 114 right-handed park factor all that much. When push comes to shove, he is still just Tyler Molly. So yeah, I'm gonna have quite a bit of these Phillies and Reds, or at least that's my assumption. Dodgers lineup came out a couple seconds ago. Not sure if you saw it. So we're still waiting on Angels, Nats, and Padres. Are any of those super relevant? Angels, not really. Nats, not really. Padres, not really. Do you have any interest in any of those teams that don't have a lineup out yet?
Angels, just because of Trout and Ohtani, and Heaney. You know, if there's some, or I'm sorry, yeah. I guess Seattle's lineup's out, so for Heaney, I guess it doesn't really matter. Seattle, I'm not seeing many Seattle hitters that I have exposure to, and then.
Hey, by the way, Alex just said in chat that he has updated the top stacks ownership. So the number that he's getting in that table now is what I was getting when I was pasting in. So I don't think he was getting the most recent update. So the Reds are 10th.
All right, let's see. We'll see if that changes anything.
I just figured you would want that updated info.
Yeah, I do like updated info. So, all right. Yeah, I guess they look a little bit better on this tool. They're about being valued where they should be in terms of being the top stack. Are you getting to any of these teams? So I guess the Angels are one of them that I'm kind of getting to, but more in two-mans with their two best hitters. Are you getting to any of these top teams that are going undervalued, like the expensive teams like the Yankees and Tampa?
Let me take a look. So you're talking like... So we'd be like Yankees, Tampa, Angels, White Sox, Nats.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees, if anything, is my most likely scenario. Probably the White Sox as well. Just a little bit of a hedge to that Homer Bailey ownership. What do you think about the White Sox tonight?
I don't mind it. I mean, Bailey's not that chalky where I feel like I need to get a ton of leverage. But like Moncada, I think always makes for a fine play at 5K against a chalky pitcher. He's just not someone that people are going to go to a bunch. Same thing with Yonder Alonso, but he's cheap. So I'm assuming he's getting a little bit of ownership. I don't really have much of the White Sox, it's looking like.
Okay.
A couple Moncada, like a couple Lurie Garcia just because he's leading off. But yeah, they're not a team that I'm getting to a ton over the field or anything like that.
Okay. I'm about to start running my crunches because I think that I'm not going to have all that much of anything that's out there right now.
What about the Nats? Because Adam and Lofty were talking about on the deep dive. They just came out right now. That lineup just came out.
Oh, it just came out like literally right now? Oh, cool.
Like right as I said the Nats, I got the alert on my phone.
Look at you.
So
do you want to say the Padres and the Angels and speak those two into existence?
Padres, Angels, if you could release your lineups right now, that would be great. No alert though. Didn't work there. But yeah, pretty normal lineup it's looking like for the Nats. But Marge Vicious, if we think this guy is terrible, and I think we kind of all do.
Yeah.
The Nats are a stack you'd love to get to in theory, but 58, 55, 54, 52 are four of the top five hitters. So you are foregoing DeGrom, you are foregoing Cole for sure, and you're probably playing Homer Bailey in that lineup. And then your SP2 is probably like Woodruff, or I guess your SP1 is like Woodruff. It's just not a very glamorous pitching lineup you're going to get if you go to them. But
it's tough. It really is. It's going to be a unique lineup, though, that's for sure. And it's not like you'd be very surprised that the Nats were the highest scoring team on the slate.
Right.
Let's see where I have them in total home runs projected for today. And then let's hope that in 3 minutes I can pick a dong, because I've been, well, not great at it lately. Probably an understatement. I can't pick a dong to save my life.
Are we doing them right now?
Nah, we're doing them in 3 minutes, but
Okay.
I'm just starting to mentally prepare.
Yeah, let me get mine here. I think I got a couple good candidates, so
There we go.
we'll see.
I love that as soon as I was like, okay, I'm going to run a crunch. This seems like the perfect time to do it. As soon as I paste in my projections, immediately we get a new lineup. Now, luckily, it didn't matter, but it's the same lineup. It's always helpful.
I think it was the exact same one. So
that makes me so happy when it happens.
It's like, at the end of the night, it's like when it's the last one in and you don't get it by lock, which is annoying as hell. But it's the same one. You're like, nice. I don't have to look at my computer. Like, There's nothing to change here, but rarely happens that way. When it's the last one of the night, they're usually waiting on an injury, and that's why it's coming out late.
Yeah.
And then the lineup, you get Stubbs, and I can't even remember what other clown was in the lineup for the Astros the other night.
Yeah, it was miserable. Sometimes it's just like, I don't care. I'm not getting up. I'll do this on my phone until I can't figure out how to do it any longer, and then I'm just giving up.
Oh, I give up. I've given up, at least on DraftKings, trying to do it on my phone. It's not even like you have to go through every lineup one by one. They don't mark who's out, which I like.
It's awful.
And there's not a super easy way to do it. You can be creative with Excel and do find and replace in Excel.
Yeah.
DraftKings, but yeah, it's not easy at all. So a lot of people probably don't even bother doing it, especially at the lower stakes.
Yeah, I've gotten a pretty good system in for when I am around, popping everything into late Swaptimizer and slowly but surely breaking it down, but it's not fun.
Didn't you say, though, when you do late Swaptimizer, you have to do one stack at a time or something?
Yeah, so I do it in batches, because if you have it set up to do a 5-2 stack, like sometimes it just won't fix any of those because it can't make a 5-2 stack. So it won't correct any of your lineups. So what I'll do is I'll take a look and see what kind of stacks I have, and then I'll rerun it as all the 5-3s, then all the 5-2s, then all the 5 blanks. And if I don't have anything at that point, then I'll start and I'm uploading every time, re-downloading, filtering by that player. So eventually, if I get to 2 or 3, I'll probably just manually make the adjustments and then re-upload. But to keep the stacks, you kind of have to do a couple. It's kind of annoying. But I mean, it's not like there's a method. It's not Fantasy Cruncher's fault. It's a hard process to do.
Yeah, it's hard to keep the stacks intact. Like in NBA, I'm sure it's easy to late Swaptimize, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just click it and go. You don't really have to pay attention to much at all. Because there aren't any real roster constraints outside of salary.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey would be awful, I'm sure.
I haven't figured out a good way to do it. Yeah. So
6:30 p.m. Eastern time. You know what that means.
Dong picks, baby.
Dong da dong dong dong. For some reason I'm filtering out a game, so let's put that back in there. And let's head on over to the dong sheet. I don't believe that anybody got one last night. I had Grichuk, who did not homer. I'm pretty sure Ohtani did not homer.
Okay.
Mazzara did not homer.
No, I don't think he did.
And I'm almost positive that Unavoidable did not homer. So we all bageled. Emac still at the top with 12. Chris, miraculously now at the top. Well, in second with 10. You and I both have 9, although you have made more correct picks than I have. I have only made 8 correct. You have made 9. I have the lone double dong on the year. And let's be clear here. That's all that matters. Picking double dongs.
I mean, not all that matters, but... Oh, we just got the Padres.
Cool. I hope it's the same because I don't want to stop crunching.
Tatis, Myers, Machado, Hosmer, Reyes, Naylor, Hedges, Marjavicius, and Garcia.
Yeah, Naylor is...
I don't think Naylor was in there.
He was not. Well, at least I'm not that far into this process. Cancel.
Yeah. I was 150 in, so...
I was 100... Well, I was 2 and change in on FanDuel and 150 in on DraftKings.
Good news is we've got 33 more minutes.
Yeah, we have plenty of time. We have one lineup left now, right? Angels?
Yeah.
It's going to be the 7:04. Oh, Trout's not playing. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
you lose your mind.
Oh, I would.
I mean, that's easy, though. It's not so, like, you hate it when a stud does it, but at the same time, late swapping off of Mike Trout is the easiest thing you can do.
Yeah, but that also kills the Angel stack.
Right, but at least you don't have to worry about, like, screwing around with it. If you really wanted to, you could hot swap him to anybody you want, and you'll get every lineup, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You're not dead because of it. Whereas when who's the pitcher that got scratched like a month ago at like 5,800 or something in the late game, and nobody was left, and it's just like, oh, I have to take a 0 today.
Derek Holland, I remember that. I had 30%.
I had quite a bit as well. Let me grab this Padres lineup, and then we'll make our dong picks. Jake, if you have a dong pick already, feel free to go for it.
All right. Let's see here. I want to see. Actually, I'm getting a lot of Eloy, but I don't think I'm gonna pick Eloy today.
Okay.
I'll take Rowdy Tellez
Ooh,
for
okay.
3,200 batting third against Merrill Kelly.
Tellez coming in 55th in the model today.
Very nice.
I am going to go to Milwaukee, but it's not Moose Tacos.
Grandal.
It is Grandal. Yasmani Grandal, 17th in the model. Hey, Rookie Davis, coming for you.
Yeah, that guy, man, he's going to get blasted today, I think.
I hope he gets blasted by Yasmani Grandal, who is my dong pick.
I just got one with him a few days ago. That was a good one. I think I got him, actually, I thought he was going up against a righty, he was going up against a lefty, and then he donged the 9th inning off like the closer. Just the luckiest dong I've gotten.
Oh, man, I am so pumped. Not all heroes wear capes. Spags will also go to Milwaukee and pick Christian Yelich. Please excuse all my bravery. Oh, you should be embarrassed for yourself.
Oh, man.
Trolling me with the reigning MVP. What a hero, man. What a hero.
Just got a rankings / projections update. I'm assuming with the Pods lineup in. Let's see.
I cannot believe you just took Christian Yelich. You coward. Oh, my God.
Oh. Strong words.
Is it the wrong word?
I'm staying out of this. You guys can have your beef.
You know I'm on the right side of this.
Ooh, Emac, a little off the board there. See what he...
Franmil Reyes, eh? That's probably higher than Tellez. Actually, maybe not because of the game today.
He's batting 5th, so maybe not.
He's 2 spots ahead of your boy Rowdy. Jake bringing in the rear here.
Nice.
Oh my God, I'm so aggravated. Yelich. Oh.
Why don't you just take Yelich?
Because I don't like doing that. I try to be, more creative. Have I taken Yelich this year? I did once. April 23rd, but it wasn't in Milwaukee if I remember correctly. I don't know if I remember that correctly.
It was in Coors. No.
Yeah, Chris, why didn't you take him while he's in Coors? I went with a sleeper pick today.
What's he doing? He should be enjoying his weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
Chris, why are you watching this?
Yeah, Chris, do you want to just hop on this show for me, man? I'd really
living
appreciate
the
it.
LA dream or whatever.
What?
Isn't that Chris?
Isn't what the LA dream?
Isn't he supposed to be living the LA dream right now?
Yeah, he is. He's in a YouTube chat. Ownership's updated. Now we can actually crunch. Yeah, the LA dream is to be a mild YouTube troll with I don't see, like, my brain's not firing. I don't even have like the fun words to make fun of Chris for taking Yelich for this. I'm just aggravated. When I get that pop up that Christian Yelich has hit a solo dong in the 8th or something, I'm gonna be really, really unhappy.
Oh, he's gonna hit like 3 of them.
That's fine. I don't mind that. As long as Grandal gets one too. I just wish that the Brewers weren't so chalky, because it's gonna sting me in 2 separate ways.
Yeah, that's true.
The LA Dream is supporting your friends on their stream.
Everyone in YouTube chat's living the LA Dream right now. Man.
Well, apparently the North Carolina Dream is way different. All right, have you started running those crunches again?
Yeah.
Anything coming up that you're just like, didn't see that one coming?
No, because I'm capping players so low. So I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but
talk to me.
On a video, the Fantasy Crunch with Chris Randone and Alex. Alex talked about setting caps based on the projection rather than like ownership, which I was doing. Like the higher the ownership a player has, the higher you can cap him at.
Sure.
So I started doing it as projection. So like you can just do 1x Garrett Cole's projection for DraftKings. So the most I'm getting is like 24%, and then DeGrom 22, and Kershaw 18 or whatever they're projected at, just to get a ton of different lineup constructions.
Sure.
And that's actually been working out really well as far as getting a bunch of different stacks. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I never see anything interesting in crunches. It's not until I rank lineups that I can actually see who I'm playing.
I know the feeling there. Yeah, on a big slate like this, it's probably not going to matter all that much because your caps are going to be low anyway. Right. That's probably incredibly important on smaller slates where ownership caps tend to creep up higher because there's less people. So I like that in like a 4, 5, 6 game slate. On 14, even if you're hitching it to ownership, like everybody's low to begin with.
For sure.
But no, I like that thought process a lot. Well, I've got my projections in. Time to crunch now.
Some people were like, yeah, there's no way that he actually does that. But like, the more I look at it, like, first of all, Alex isn't going to lie about what he's doing. Like, he does a ton of other things. So he's not going to give you a CSV. But yeah, he's telling you what he actually does. That's one of the strategies he does to cap players. So I was like, man, why didn't I think of that? Like, it's so simple, but it does exactly what I want the optimizer to do if I'm ranking lineups and making 600 lineups at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes. I mean, again, the way that we've been doing this has kind of changed a little bit, but we're using Fantasy Cruncher as a mechanism for generation. You don't need that to be what you want it to be on the way back out, or it's going to make extremes. What you're really just trying to do is cast a gigantic net and sort through it later.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's a great process. Probably why I've been having a lot more success on big slates compared to small slates. So shout out to Miles on that one.
Fridays, I swear, we just like crushed Fridays last year. Whenever we were on together, it seemed like. So we'll see.
I can tell you.
No, I know you've looked this up this year.
Oh, did I? I have no memory, dude.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about this a couple times, but
I'm the worst. All right, I'm setting it.
Well, you do like 18 shows a day, so
that's true. I don't really remember anything that I say on a given basis. Okay, so I set it for MLB 2018. I go by cohort and then weekday. Friday is the biggest day of ROI for me by a mile. Yeah. My ROI since the beginning of baseball season last year is 68%.
That's really good, man.
Yeah.
Why don't you go play the Thunderdome or something?
It is not very good on Mondays, however. The old -25.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I should probably filter it by GPPs only. There's a couple hemorrhage days of not satellite qualifier entry in there.
Yeah.
Which to me doesn't count. Well, it's not a measurement of skill. No, I've sorted by GPP as well. Still taking an absolute beating, but the Friday GPP percentage went up to 71.
Wow. Stop chasing those Qs, man. I know you want to go to, where is it, San Diego?
Yeah.
FanDuel? Is that the one you tried for the other night again? The FanDuel?
Yeah. Yeah. What else do I got to waste money on?
Buy I don't know. You can buy something else. You can buy a trip there for all the money you're spending. Qs.
Yeah, but they're not going to put me up and do all sorts of fun stuff if I buy it.
That's true.
Or I could win on the first one, and then it's not that interesting. I don't know. I just don't care. It's only money.
I recommend if you guys are playing qualifiers to win on the first try.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be my advice.
Yeah, that's my advice as well. Win on the first try.
Just like top heavy tournament. All you got to do is win it. It's all good.
Right.
Win the tournament. Stop complaining.
The only thing that I play DFS for is for money to do dumb stuff. And the dumbest thing that I can do is to try to get into a qualifier and go have a fun experience because they're fun.
All right, here's something dumb, Josh. I mean, we do have, 20 minutes left?
We do. Tons of time.
Are you entering the $10 on DraftKings?
I'm not.
Oh, come on. Yeah, there's not a second mini-max that opened up.
There was a stretch of the day where I thought I was going to mass unregister from everything because I don't feel great. And I just didn't want to pay attention to baseball anymore. If I weren't on this show right now, I probably would have emailed into FanDuel and DraftKings and told them to pull everything and just went to sleep.
Yeah, I don't blame you. $50K up top in that $10. That seems like a pretty nice Friday night, right?
What's the pay structure, though? How bad is it tumbling after that?
It's been worse, but
Great.
50K to first, I think 20, 10, 4, 2, 1. 7, 8 is 750. 9, 10 is 500. So
I try to only moved our overlay. I try to only get in that when they really flatten it out.
As you should. I mean,
Because
should reward them for top 10, 45% to the top 10 and 25% to first.
So that's the only days that I get into that are those sorts of days.
Yeah, I thought they were going to run when I saw the mega eights or whatever, I thought they were going to run an $8 and maybe it would have had a flatter structure. Actually, probably would have been more top heavy because it was $2 less per entry. But yeah, there's a big $5 coming up on DraftKings, I know, in the next couple weeks.
Nice.
A ton of tickets too. So
I'm sure I'll play that.
I'm sure it'll be 100K to first, 10K to second type of thing.
That's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Where are you at in your crunch process right now? Mine's not prompt.
I'm at 432.
Trying to get way ahead of me.
Trying to get to 600 here. So I've run 155 threes, 155 twos, 100 and almost 54 threes, and now I'm gonna run 5 naked.
I'll do 5-3, 5-2, 5 naked, and 4-4 for DK.
All right.
You don't run any 4-4s for DK?
I don't like to. I don't know. I don't know why. I probably should.
I especially like to on big slates like this.
Yeah. What I do sometimes on big slates like this is just run all fives. So just 200, 5-3, 200, 5-2, 200, 5-0. I don't know. I probably should just run more lineups and just, run like 1,000 lineups and do the same thing with 4-4, 4-3. So
yeah, it really depends on the day and whether or not you're on a stream too.
That definitely affects it, but I'm on live before lock, 4 or 5 days a week. So
yeah,
these are the days.
These are the days. These are the days. Anything interesting coming up that you didn't expect to see?
No, nothing much. I would imagine.
Did you get your new phone yet?
No, I took the credit. I emailed DK, and they were just because they were offering an iPhone X or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was gonna buy the XS before I saw this contest last month, and then I decided, I'll go after this and see if I can upgrade. And they were like, "Well, you should just get the $900 and then go buy whatever phone you want." So they credited my account today. I got the crowns, all that. But
sweet.
I'll probably go buy it. I work all day tomorrow. I've got 2 shows, so maybe
it's Sunday.
Yeah, maybe Sunday. We'll see.
Reward yourself with a nice new. What phone do you have right now?
iPhone.
Yeah,
I don't know. 7.
I didn't know how if you were just never a phone guy and you were like, oh, I'm just I'm happy to get this now because I don't really care about phones. So if I can get it, I can get it.
No, I definitely do care about phones. So that's why I've been holding out on buying one, and I was just like, oh, maybe I could sneak into the top 10 of this tournament, and I did. And
is that running again this month?
They're running a June week 1 contest. That's more for the pros. It's looking like.
Okay.
But if you get in the top 30 or maybe 20, you get AirPods. It's pretty nice.
I don't like them. I've got weird ears.
I've got them right here. So
I mean, everybody swears by them. My wife has them. She loves them. I don't like the way they feel in my ear. I really like to like dig that earbud in, get it in there deep, get it nice and close to all the good stuff in the back of the ear. I don't know. I like it to be like suctioned off. I got nothing. Like this thing is in here, man.
Wait, let me see. I'm not on your. Oh yeah, those things really get in there. These do too. These are great. AirPods, right? And everybody thinks you're just a baller when you wear AirPods. Isn't that the thing?
You got to get the black things on there so people think you have gauges in, like your Laffy.
Laffy has gauges?
Wait, is this a joke?
I've never even noticed that.
Oh no, Laffy does not have gauges, but everybody thinks that he does because he's got like black sleeves on his AirPods. So it always just looks like a big black hole on his ear.
Oh, okay.
And
didn't know that.
Like, I mean, YouTube chat will get them from time to time where they're just like, "Yo, Laffy has gauges."
Well, he's just so unprofessional with his backwards hat that it's hard to focus on anything besides that.
Exactly. All right, I got my FanDuel lineups done. I'm honestly like half scared to paste this in because I don't know what's going to happen with some of this pitching. I still have to run one last 4-4 for DK, and then we're all in business.
All right, let's see. Someone asked why we run 600 lines, they said, but lineups. That's just to get cast a wide net, as Josh says.
Yeah.
And then you filter down and pick your best, however many you're playing from that.
Run a crunch of 100 and see the spread and score and realize that you can get 20 lineups that basically project for the exact same thing. That's why you crunch out a lot of lineups.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, to Rah in YouTube chat, sorry to be negative, but can't stand Josh. I hope you're really enjoying the rest of this experience. This will surprise you, Rah, but I get a lot out of knowing that bothers you. More than I should, unfortunately. Here's a good question from Michael L. Josh and Jake, who's your number one fade at starting pitcher tonight? I know mine.
Number one fade, and then I've got one thing.
This is good.
Number one fade. Let's see here.
I totally missed the backwards hat joke that also lands on me.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. I thought I couldn't see you, but yeah, you didn't catch the one about the backwards hat. So that was what I was laughing at. Talking about someone who's so unprofessional with a backwards hat to someone that is also wearing a backwards hat. Yes. That was a funny comment that we got. Not even we, that the deeper dive guy. Or no, it was on the early bird. I think it was Dan and Coffee.
It was.
And Coffee was wearing a backwards hat. Some guy just ripped him apart how unprofessional he was for wearing a backwards hat.
Yeah.
On a DFS podcast.
Craziness.
Some people, man, old man yells at cloud is the only thing I could think of. But back to the starting pitchers. Let's see. So I'm playing Cole. I'm playing DeGrom. I'm playing Woodruff. Let's see if I got anything weird. Kershaw, I'm not playing a lot of. He's at, 15% ownership? I got well below that.
Okay.
Heaney as well. So we're on the opposite side of that. I only got 16. Well, I got 16% Heaney. He's 24 on DK. So he's another one I'm pretty underweight on.
Woodruff will be my biggest fade, I believe, once I load in this DraftKings crunch. Trying to make some adjustments here to my FanDuel crunch. I got a little too much Cleveland Indians for my liking, so I'm trying to dial that back a little bit. Am I typing that in the right spot? Yeah, I am. I don't need the Indians to be my top owned stack. That much I can tell you.
Let's see here.
Not with the amount of ownership that they have right now. I mean, they still are going to be. They're my most over the field right now, but other than that, man, I got a lot of Brewers, but I'm under the field.
Yeah, that's interesting.
DraftKings crunch is done.
Has DK given out the Rolex? Yeah, who got it? Utica got it, I believe.
He did.
So
what did Alex get? Do you know?
He got so the funny thing is that Alex, who plays, however many times much more he plays than me every night.
Yeah.
He got the same prize as me. So it was like 800,000 crowns and an iPhone X, which is a nice prize for him. I don't think he's got trouble buying an iPhone X.
No, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he can afford that one.
Yeah. And I mean, I can afford an iPhone X, but
oh yeah, sure.
To win it, like that's pretty cool. For not playing, multiple thousands, sure, but across a bunch of different sports I was playing. So
you guys can have like shared calls on your new iPhones.
Yeah, I think so.
26. I just want to get these FanDuel lineups in so we can get back to talking DK. We've got 8. So 13 minutes to go until lock. We're waiting on one lineup yet. Just the Angels, and really all that matters is making sure that Trout is in there.
And
Ohtani, I guess.
Any videos coming up in running 1,000 lineups like other FC tutorials?
Where's that question coming from?
Premium slide.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that's not really a tutorial. Just run 1,000 lineups.
I think he's talking about more like ranking stuff.
Oh, probably not.
We'll see. We'll see. We've got some stuff in the oven, I'm sure.
Some buns.
All
right, let's grab this DK crunch here. 425 lineups. I'm just a little guy for this one.
Tune in Saturday morning at 11:15 for the No Hat Show. That'll be Emac and I. I think maybe I'll just troll and wear a hat tomorrow for the first time ever. But
you've never worn a hat on one of these shows?
Maybe at the beginning. I don't remember.
Didn't we put that in your clause in your contract? That's part of the uniform?
You gotta wear a hat.
All right, I'm about to hit refresh on DraftKings. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's see it.
Now, this is before I make any tweaks. People don't freak out.
Okay.
45 Cole. 41 Heaney. 13 Porcello. 75 DeGrom.
Okay. I mean, so your most popular pairing is going to be Heaney, DeGrom, probably.
Yeah.
Was there someone in between DeGrom and Heaney for you, or no?
No. Those I only have 4 guys in double figures: Cole, DeGrom, Heaney, and Porcello. I have 4% Brandon Woodruff and 5% Kershaw.
All right, let's see. My pitching exposures: DeGrom 52, Cole 27, Woodruff 22.7. So those guys are all very close to where they're projected at as far as ownership. 16.7 for Pineda. He's also close. Heaney when I refreshed ownership, now he's at 16.7. So just a little bit underweight. No major pitcher stands outside of I'm 11% underweight on Kershaw. So
I have basically no Tampa Bay, which is making me a little nervous. I think I'm going to have to give the Yankees a little bit of a boost here and see what that does for me.
I am deploying the brick strategy tonight with just no hitters besides Trout and Yelich over 20.
Okay. I probably don't have anybody too crazy like that.
Yeah. Like looking at Brick on lineup study a few times, he runs a lot of like he'll have tournaments in these top heavy tournaments where he'll run like no one over 14%, for example. It's super flat on hitting, especially. I don't remember pitching off the top of my head, but there's so many different play styles. So that's what's cool about lineup study.
Brett Murphy, expert advice, play all chalk. I just got done talking about how I had the Indians as my highest exposed crunch on FanDuel. And we're talking like it's chalk now. People don't listen, man. Man, even if I boost up the Yankees, I can't get to them.
I am kind of in the same boat. It looks like prioritizing the Brewers so much, and actually the Angels to some extent, Ohtani and Trout. Getting some Phillies, more Phillies than I imagined.
They are my most owned DraftKings stack.
Okay. And then
they are the team that I am second most over the field on as of right now.
I like it.
I need to knock these Indians back a little bit on DK. Apparently I'm going crazy for the Indians today. I don't entirely know why. They must just be incredibly affordable. I'm slowly walking it back since they're basically unowned. Where do you land on the Twins today? The Minnesota Jakes, which we got asked about today, which I thought was fun.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's been a joke since like basically day one.
That was like the OGs are the only ones that know that.
Yeah.
I did get to some Twins. I'm under on Nelson Cruz, which is worrisome, but like I think on the stack in total, I'm getting a lot of these guys over the field or right at it. So
I got 12% aggregate on the Twins, and we're projecting 8, so okay with that. Who's your biggest fade right now?
I guess it's Nelson Cruz.
No. Sorry, I meant that as like a team. My answer is the Royals.
Oh, not the Royals for me. Oakland, it's looking like. Very little Chris Davis, very little Matt Olson.
I'm basically equal to the field on the A's right now.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a team that really jumps out. The Yankees, a couple of these guys I got 0% exposure to. So we're on the same page there. I guess the only real point that we're super different on is the Heaney exposure.
Yeah, I'm a big Heaney guy for today. We'll see how that goes, but with the way that he has been mowing people down lately, that at least makes me feel good. The fact that he's not getting all that much ownership because of DeGrom's exposure makes me happy. But some sort of pairing of Cole, DeGrom, and Heaney is clearly like in almost all of my lineups, so I'm pretty happy with that. I actually thought that I would end up with more Pineda and more Bailey, and I didn't. I think that's just a testament to how far removed from everybody else Cole, DeGrom, and Heaney to a lesser extent are.
Yeah.
I could see Alex did a little bit of a bump to Heaney after our discussion about him on the Yahoo show. His recent form has been... I mean, what did he strike out in his AAA start? Like 50-something% of guys? Yeah. That's part of the reason why I was a little like... The same sort of numbers there. Not like you should read too much into AAA, but that's the same reason I had a little bit of pause on Nelson from the Brewers. Just you're walking guys in AAA. It's not a great sign.
I got to more Pineda on Yahoo actually, like more Pineda and Pomeranz, just like the dirt cheap guys.
Yeah, I mean Pineda on Yahoo looks great.
Yeah. Taking the field on DeGrom seems suboptimal. I mean, I disagree. I don't know.
Tell me what suboptimal means there.
Yeah, that would right. Like you're not taking a stand, but okay. Like look at how many stands a guy like Alex takes. Like just if you look at just one player, yeah, it looks like Alex just plays chalk every night.
Yeah.
But he does not do that. He's making better, well-rounded lineups than you. That's why he's winning these 100Ks every week.
He's not fading guys that grade out well for him that he also gets.
It's all in the context of an entire lineup.
Yep.
So that's something like that I've been more aware of.
You could play Jake DeGrom in 100% of your lineups today if you want to play them with the Pirates and the Giants and the Rockies and all these teams that are completely unowned, and you'll have lineups that no one else has. Then It's not chalk any longer. It's all about the aggregate for all of this stuff. I mean, you don't get there's not a lot of times where Garrett Cole, I think we all agree Garrett Cole's the best starter on this slate. Like if we just want to ignore DeGrom for a second. Cole's the guy.
For sure.
25.5 projected points on DK from Alex. There's not a lot of times where you get someone that's at 23.7 like DeGrom, but he's priced $2,800 below that.
Right.
Sometimes you can't stop value from being value. Now, DeGrom's going to go out and get bombed, and everybody's going to come in here and take the victory lap. And if you ran the slate back again tomorrow with the same stuff, I'd do the exact same thing.
Yep, that is what I...
where are you ending up on DeGrom with 4 minutes to go?
I'm actually... So I was at 50%. I just realized I didn't delete my chalkiest lineups. So like the ones that are literally, going to be duped 8 times.
Yeah.
In the big tournaments. So... redoing that now, it's going to change a little bit because he was in a lot of those, of course. 47%. I mean, right at the field, basically.
Okay.
So.
I actually thought I would end up with less Cole, but On a 14, and slate size has a lot to do with this. To pay up to 12-2 to get Garrett Cole is not that hard when there are 28 teams on the slate.
Right.
I'm pumped to track this stuff now.
Track what?
Just like results for tonight. Did you get to any Tigers?
I didn't remember seeing them. I will check in just a second.
I actually have a little bit of them just because of Pineda's ownership.
I didn't get much Pineda at all. I doubt I even.
Yeah, I'm half the field on Pineda.
Okay.
Kevin Miller says DeGrom for sure rupturing a testicle.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, let's not talk about that for anybody, man.
Good God.
I wouldn't even wish that on Sean V.
No, Sean V's the GOAT. Can't wish bad things on Sean V.
Sean V's the GOAT if the GOAT is the GOAT from like the Adam Sandler songs, which you have clearly never listened to. I don't even know why I started saying this out loud. You have no idea what I'm saying, do you?
This is not a Chris Baggs and Josh Engelman show.
No.
So know your teammates.
Adam Sandler used to put out like comedy albums of like music and stuff. Okay. One of those was the song called The Goat, where there was a goat that was like chained up to a pickup truck, and like people walk by and would like talk to the goat. The goat could talk, and the owner of the goat was always drunk and like kicking the shit out of the goat. And then they let the goat free for a little bit, and he got to like roam. But then there was a second goat song on his next album. It was good. The goat was good. We accidentally had a tape of music, and we had some of these songs like Piece of Shit Car, which I'm sure you've never heard. We had these songs on a tape, like a cassette tape, for opening day of Little League when I was 12 years old. But we were playing like normal music to start. We forgot that this music was on here, and we left, and we were just playing music over the loudspeaker while people were hanging out there. And we're just at the park, and all of a sudden you just hear, piece of shit car, I got a piece of shit car. And we're like, uh-oh, we're going to get in some trouble. Didn't go over well. Just uncomfortable amounts of swearing over and over again to a sea of like 9, 10, 11, and 12-year-old kids.
Sounds like you got a stern talking to afterwards.
I that's an understatement. But yeah, check out the old Adam Sandler CDs. They're good. Ooh, Adam Sandler, most overrated comedian ever. Ugh. How can you say that kind of stuff?
I've heard that take before.
Did you mess with any Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, or anything like that?
Happy Gilmore for sure. I don't know if I've seen all of Billy Madison. I've seen like I'm the smartest man alive, that thing.
Sure.
That's Billy Madison, right? That's also in a Kid Cudi song. So I actually heard the Kid Cudi song before I saw that part.
There you go.
That's how young I am compared to you old gentlemen that do this stream when I'm not here. But yeah, I've seen a bunch of like Mr. Deeds and stuff like that. So Longest Yard, the remake, obviously.
Sure. Make way for the Blackfoot.
Yeah.
I got really into Mr. Deeds. That came out while I was working at the video store in high school.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
By the way, T. McBee just dropped a line in, yeah, you better not mention that again. Go ahead, T. McBee. What's the rest of that line? I won't even say it on this stream. That'll be the most vulgar thing that I've said on here. But we're locked, man. We're locked.
All right.
You excited? You feeling good for tonight? Fridays are our days, apparently.
Yeah, so I was going to enter the $10 at the last second. There was like the perfect amount to...
Wait, was there overlay?
No. There's a perfect amount to like fill it or come close to filling it.
Okay.
I think it came up short by like 200 entries. So I was going to do that. But I looked at the payout structure again, and I couldn't do it.
All right.
So,
well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Jake, you're on for tomorrow, right? You and EMAC, and then you and EMAC, maybe?
Me and EMAC, then me and EMAC.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all flipped up because you're out next weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, tune into the Jake and EMAC shows tomorrow. Hit the like button on your way out the door. Subscribe to the channel. We'll get... Fast Eddie and Rimpack will be on like 8 and change, talking Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Klay Thompson back. I don't know if we've gotten any news since we started. Kevon Looney is up in the air, now questionable. That's where we're at.
Wait, Klay Thompson's playing?
Huh?
Klay Thompson's playing?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
No Durant. then Looney might play.
Okay.
But that's where we're at, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Go enjoy your Friday. I'm going to go lay down and sweat lineups and probably win some money since evidently Friday's my best day.
Let's do it.
Enjoy your weekend, Jake. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. We're out of here.